Alright, so I know this is only the third video, but I already have an idea of a couple of changes to make. I ended up actually rewatching some old YouTube videos on like why you should get started on YouTube, even if no one watches, even if you don't get a lot of subscribers, why it's still beneficial to watch it. So I ended up watching one, um, and YouTube does what it always does. It started sending me more that were similar to that one. So I didn't mind. I watched it, and small little edits that they're doing that I find interesting and that I think people would also find interesting. So those are a couple of changes that you're probably going to see in my video. Um, yeah, I had a project actually that I finished not too long ago that I want to show, but I didn't finish it in time. So I'll definitely be bringing that up later down the line. But like I said, I want to post at least once a week. So I decided to just do this little update on things that are going to change and about this project that I'm gonna present later on. Um, I'll explain it near the end of this video. Second thing I want to bring up ties into writing, video recordings and voice recordings. Not anything that I intend to post, but just ideas that I want to remember for later. At the same time, it allows me to check how I sound on the voice recordings and on the video. For the video, it's how I speak, my movements or anything like that, and it gives me an idea of how I look on the other side. Um, I don't do as many I don't do as many video recordings as I used to because it just takes up a lot of space on my phone. So I do more voice recordings. The other benefit of that is I don't have to worry about how I look, just the ideas that I'm saying and how I sound, and just getting ideas out there that I can flesh out and work on and see how I already think about these things or say about these things and learning more about them. So that's why I do more voice recordings. Now, the only issue with doing voice recordings or even video recordings is just that I have to go back and watch them later, which I don't always do, don't always have time for. A lot of times I'll take like the voice recording and I had some good ideas in it that I want to remember or that I want to write about. So now I have to listen to like a 7 to 10 minute voice recording where I'm probably rambling on it and have to write it down. So the third thing I want to mention, and this is the project that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that I actually ended up creating a script using Python that essentially takes my voice recordings and translates them into text. So a speech to text Python script. And did I have to build this, considering that there are other tools out there? Not really, but this is actually the benefit and why I've always been recommending people to still learn tech skills, even if they're not going to go for a software development job, is that you can now create whatever it is you want to create for yourself, and that's the benefit that I had. So weighing the cost of time in terms of should I just pay for it or should I build it myself? Typically, it would be just pay for it. It's going to take you a very long time to build it, and you have to learn a lot of different things in order to create this application. Yeah, in some cases, and depending on your goal, it's better to just pay for it. In my case, I already have the skills, I already have the know-how, so it didn't take very long to just build my own. At the same time, too, I've tried the other method. I've tried just using tools that already exist, and there's typically limitations on like how many uploads you can do, how big the file size is. The file size ties into the time, but like how much time is in your recording. So I've always run into those limitations. Whereas by creating my own application, I didn't have those same restrictions. So, for example, I used to have to keep my recordings down to about 5 minutes or so, because anything more than that, the file size would be too large, and I wouldn't be allowed to use the free version, the free tools to have it translate, or the file size would just be too big. So by creating my own, I was actually able to, for example, take a 60-minute voice recording, put it through the script, and it was able to translate it without any problems. So that was the benefit of me choosing to create my own versus going and continuing to use the free tools. And it's very basic. I'll best I can, I'll show it in the next video. Um, I usually have to get the recording, put it on the computer, put it through the script, and then take the text and you know and then copy paste it somewhere else. So there's still a lot that can be done with this, and that's exactly what I intend to do. So I have the basic version. Something I learned in software development is always just get it working first, then get complex later. So that's exactly what I plan to do. The script works perfectly. I've tried like 3 different recordings already, and I was able to transcribe it into text, no problem. And next, as I'm continuing to learn automation and everything, next would be to add on more where I can most likely drop into a folder, have it run automatically. That it'll take that, it'll transcribe it into text, it'll put it in another folder, or at some point I also want to add some AI features to it where it'll do a certain AI function, like maybe clean up the text or create a script or a newsletter from that. So there's a lot more that can be done with it. And ideally, I'll get it in the next video so you guys can take a look as well. So that's all I wanted to say in this one. Just some small updates on where I'm at right now and what to expect moving forward. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.